Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Look, I got my favorite Snoopy cup. It's still rather early. Actually, you'll probably hear the digital assistant go off here in a minute. I probably should have shut her off. But I already took my morning meds. Ooh! So, I don't know if I mentioned that pumpkin spice sometimes give me indigestion. So I decided to ask Jim to give a splash of pumpkin spice with the rest of this Italian sweet cream, and that is really good. Still get that pumpkin spice est, but it's not as, it's not as strong, so I love it.
Here's your reminder. Take my meds. Here's your reminder. Take my meds.
Huh. I just messed up. I just took the wrong medicine. Uh-oh. I hope that's okay. I mean, technically the medication is prescribed 3 times a day, so I just took it a few hours early, 5 hours. I hope that's okay. I hope that doesn't affect my tummy too bad. Ugh. Well, I do have some food here to eat if I do feel that way. But hi! So I just wanted to give you guys a hi. Couple of things. I filmed me just doing a little bit of my morning. So I think I mentioned this. When Jim goes to work, I kind of lay on that side, and then just around meds time, which is like 7, I do a switch over, I reposition myself, and so that's when I do my morning stretches and brush my hair and give myself clean up, because I don't really have, I get up at 5 with him, and then I have to get positioned so that he can put the medicine on me. So I don't really have time before I reposition to do clean up and stuff. So I do that when I wake up here at 7, and it's mostly just washing my underarms because I do get so sweaty. I mean, I sometimes wash other parts of me when I get on the commode, but you guys aren't seeing that. So it depends on sometimes my thighs and my underbelly gets really sweaty at night. But it depends. Last night wasn't bad, actually. Last night was pretty good. I did still wake up midnight, but I wanted to just tell you guys an update. I didn't vlog yesterday. It was a bad day. Pain-wise, it was a really bad day. Is Tuesday's going to be like that forever? I don't know. But I decided to take the Tylenol with codeine last night, and then I was finally able to relax enough to get some sleep. I did sleep for a good, because I fell asleep quick. So I did sleep for a good almost 6 hours before I woke up. And then I thought I was awake. I thought I was staying awake, and apparently all of a sudden it was 5 o'clock. So I guess I went back to sleep, which is good. Not a complaint. It just was really weird. Okay. So, I don't know if this is going to be the new norm. Is this going to be a new routine? Is it do a lot on the weekends and then pay for it for the first couple of days? I don't really know. I hope just that, 2 days I'm going to get my MRI, and hopefully sometime next week I'll have some answers for some treatment plan or some, what are we going to do from this moment forward type of situation. So we'll see. We'll see. So things are really good. I mean, they're really good with me and Jim. He has been coming home every day and spending some time with me, and we just snuggle and talk and catch up on our day, and how was yours and how was mine, and what's the plans for the night, and which is I'm so grateful for, because I was just really missing him, and I can be really lonely sometimes, and I didn't want to cry on this vlog. But I'm just so happy. I'm so grateful They're happy tears, trust me. That he's just doing that. He's spending time with me, and we're really connecting on a different level. And last night even he came in and he played video games in here last night, which I was super happy for, because I just like to have him in the room. And it's funny because I find myself, like, he wears headphones, and I just find myself talking to him, like, random thoughts that pop in my head, pop out of my mouth, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I forgot you have headphones on. So last night, he's like, oh, my headphones are dead, like, they didn't charge or whatever. I was like, well, I'll put my earbuds in while I'm watching whatever I'm watching so that you can, like, just play the sound to the TV. I'm fine with that. I actually like listening to it. When he plays Assassin's Creed, any of them, but Valhalla he's playing right now. They have, like, really good story. They have a really good story. They talk a lot about, it's based on historical facts. Not all of them, obviously, because they do take some creative license, but you get to hear, like historians. One of the Assassin's Creeds he plays is, like, they encounter Leonardo da Vinci and the king of Medici. I wanted to say Medici, but I don't know. That doesn't sound right all of a sudden. But it's just kind of cool because it's like some real historical facts there, and then of course there's creative license because there was no League of Assassins back then. No, I don't know. Really, honestly, it's just great. It's just made up, but it's based. They do have actual historical stuff in there, so it's kind of cool. One of them he plays is from the Revolutionary War. I want to say, like Connor was around the time. I think it was the Revolutionary War. Anyway, so not why we're talking today. But it's just fun. It's fun to listen. So I was like, sometimes I put my earbuds on to do something, and sometimes I just play a game that doesn't have any sound, and I can just listen to him play, which is kind of fun. But I don't want to talk about, like, yesterday was a terrible day with a lot of pain. It just was. So I didn't want to vlog. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to. I spent the day pretty much, like, on and off, crying in pain. And by the end of the day, by the time Jimmy got home, it was quite of an extraordinary amount of discomfort. Let's put it that way. And I went to go roll over and I hurt myself, just boom, positioning. And, I wanted to show this morning how I do core work, but I realized that you really can't see what I do when I tighten my core. So the way that I describe it is kind of like, if, I don't know, if you're bearing down, like, if almost like you have to go to the bathroom, or you're bearing down, like, and you tighten your abdomen muscles, then whatever you do with the abdomen muscles tightened will help. Just keep your core strength. Even if you just sit here and, like Kegels. I don't know if you guys do Kegel exercises, but like Kegels, if you just sit here and tighten your muscles and then relax them and tighten the muscles while you're playing video games or while you're talking to your friends on the phone, any kind of thing you can do, it's very helpful. It just keeps the muscles engaged. It keeps the core tight. Somebody said I had trouble getting up one time. I don't know if I filmed it, but I don't have trouble getting up. Like, I have the ability to get up. When I am trying to do, what the struggle is to get up with the minimal amount of pain. And that's what's really hard, because sometimes my knee wants to be cooperative and my hip wants to be cooperative, and they want to just, like, go with the flow. But sometimes as soon as you start to move, they're like, hey, what are you doing? And you're like, okay, don't do that. I'll do something different. And, so that's where that is. I wanted to tell you too that things are, obviously with Jimmy working, things are better financially. We really weren't in a, like, big struggle just yet. Like, but the fact that he did go back to work is very helpful. I'm really excited about this job. He really likes it. I don't know if he's talked to you guys about it. I know he doesn't like early morning, but he really does like it. I think he also would like it if it was less than 8 hours a day, like 9 hours a day or whatever. It's 8 hours and 50 minutes he's on the schedule. But sometimes he gets to leave at 8.5 hours, so that's good. Excuse me. I might have to blow my nose. I repositioned and things are like flowing, but are they flowing out? Are they just flowing down? Don't know. Anyway, I bought something on Amazon that I saw on TikTok. Like TikTok made me do it. But I'm so excited for it to get here on Friday. I can't wait to share it with you because it's going to totally be a game changer in my family. And I don't mean like big time. It's not it's not like a maid or anything. But it's a Ziploc bag organizer. So I don't know about you guys, but we have a drawer that has like our wraps. It has foil. It has all of like the wraps in it, like a long drawer that has. I think I showed you, and if you've seen the tour, you know what I'm talking about. But there's always been like this thing about the Ziploc bags for my family. Like if we buy a big bag, then a big box doesn't really fit, and then you have to cut the flaps off, and then the flaps get cut, and the drawer gets stuck, and it's just like a mess. And this thing is so cool. It's like, it looks like the size of like a silverware organizer, but it holds like gallons, snacks, sandwiches, and quarts. And I was like, and they're labeled, and it's wood. Game changer. I was like, I have got to get this. I saw a girl who shared it, Amazon finds you didn't know you needed, and it's expensive. First of all, I'm gonna tell you it's expensive. Hers that she was selling is $46. Not that she's selling, but that she promoted is $46. And hers is made out of bamboo, which I might upgrade to one day. I'm going to see how the wood one is. But the one I'm getting is wood. And it was $37. And I know that that's a lot of money. And it is a lot of money. And I was looking, don't understand. I saw this thing a month and a half ago. And I just have it in my wish list. And I saw it, and I was like, can I DIY that? Like, literally, can I DIY that? And I was trying to think of how. And I can't really jigsaw. Real thin wood doesn't really jigsaw cleanly. You really kind of need almost like a router. And then I was thinking like, oh, do I have a guide for the Dremel? But then how would you like label it with the heat gun? Like, it's just all of these things. I was contemplating like, how could I DIY one of these myself? And I don't think I can. Like, I literally was like, I don't think I can. And then getting the dimensions right. It's not like they sell a kit where you could just buy a kit. And honestly, there's not that many out there, but I think it's something that's going to be a thing. Like, I think that I'm going to share it with you, and then she shared it with me, and I share it with you. And I think everybody's going to be like, oh, we want one of these. Now, not everybody uses all the different snack bags and sandwich bags and stuff, but we do. So we do, and I'm happy to have it. Like, I think the thing that is probably the hardest is trying to move away from single serve plastics is kind of like the goal. But honestly, with my family right now, I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that my family in the future, it's something that we could do and be sustainable. But like right now, and it's okay. Like, I'm not mad at it, but my mother-in-law really likes the Ziploc bag thing. She likes the vacuum sealed Ziploc bags. She really likes to have the Ziploc bags. And she likes to use them and use them and then get rid of them. She uses them for a lot of different things too. So, for right now, that's it. It is what it is, kind of thing, Oh, sorry. I just have it. Oh, that's what it was. I was like, I have an itch in my nose, and I was gonna sneeze. Okay, so, how you doing? Well, anyway, today's good because I rested and I'm not in as much pain. I got to see the support that I had yesterday in the after effect. So I'm sorry, I have a boo-boo in this nose, like right there, like you get a boo-boo sometimes. Like, I don't know, does it start out being a pimple or does it start out being a tissue sore? I'm not really sure. But what it's doing is making this itchy because it's starting to heal. You guys know what I mean? It's itchy on this side. Somebody has a problem with me touching my face, I think. I feel like somebody had said that once. Stop touching your face. Excuse me. I'm gonna delete this. Delete this. I'm back. Yeah, it's better. What were we talking about before my nose? I had a boo-boo, itchies, healing. But before that, we were talking about, that yesterday, as hard as it is, as he told me, it's hard to see me in pain. Jim was so caring and loving and nurturing and just supportive, and it made me feel so good. It made me feel good at the time. And actually, there were some parts of that time where I was like, I love this. I just can't do it anymore. It just hurts too much to have you lean on me or hold me tight. It just hurts my body all over or whatever. So he's like, I understand. What do you need from me? And God, it made me melt. It made me melt because that's all someone in any kind of distress really needs to hear is, what do you need from me? What can I do for you? And that's just so overwhelming. Like that is so, it's so loving to hear. It's one of those things that I say that often that I don't always get reciprocated back, but when it does, it's just overwhelming. I don't know, it's like the equivalent, I guess, of hearing that your kids are well behaved at someone else's house. You know, you'd be like, they did it. They did it. They finally did it. Actually, that was when we were growing up anyway. But it was, I think about it this morning, and it was just an amazing thing he did for me yesterday, to just hold me and be there for me and just randomly lay there and just rub my back. And it was just, yeah. So I just sent him a text this morning just to say thank you for yesterday. I love how you just cared for me and wanted to be here for me, and that meant so much to me. So I haven't gotten a message back because it wasn't supposed to be like a text conversation because he's at work. It was just something to pick him up this mid-morning. He usually has about a break. So the store itself opens at 11. So they have all this morning prep to do. And if they bust it out, you know, depending on the day and what they had left over from yesterday, then he has like a break in the morning kind of thing. So today is Wednesday, so he does have salad. So he probably won't have a break till much later, closer to 11. But anyway, anyhow, I was just so grateful. I was just so happy. I am excited about the fact that it's almost Friday, and I tried to coordinate a different time. So originally I picked Friday afternoon because I thought Jimmy was going to have to take me. But then I realized since my friend's going to take me and she's got a much more flexible schedule, I called to see if they could fit me in any other time. But the whole thing with contrast is kind of like where they're stuck. You know, I guess they have to have a certain person there who can do it. I don't know how that works or why with contrast is, I guess, somebody to set up an IV. I guess, I don't know. I never had it before. So maybe you guys know. You'll let me know in the comments, which I'll get read to me over the weekend. Hopefully. We didn't get to them this weekend. I feel really bad. He's been kind of checking in just to see like if it's any like major concerns or big questions. But he hasn't really been able to, because he's just got a lot going on. And I don't blame him at all. I don't blame him at all. So I am very, very grateful for my position in life. And what I mean by that is, like, I look around at the world and things that are going on in Afghanistan, and people are losing their homes in Louisiana and their lives as well. And I'm so grateful to be here. And I don't mean that this is the best state in the world. I just meant my position right today. All of the changes that are happening in Texas for women's reproductive rights starting today are very hard to deal with. I'm grateful I'm not there, even though it doesn't really affect me at my stage in life. The mask mandate ban in Florida is like, what is going on? It's just so hard to think about what others are going through. It does help me though, as it has for years. For years, I have lived with pain, and I've lived with diabetes, and I've lived with neuropathy, and I've lived with failing eyesight, and lived with failing energy. But it has always given me light and hope and encouragement when I see somebody who's going through way more than me and doing it. I try to do that for you guys. I mean, I tried to in the beginning anyway. Obviously, laying here doing minimal amounts of work is not the encouraging part of my story. But that's what I've tried to do over the years. You know, watching the Fry Life, watching other channels, people who have since passed, and, you know, Squeegee and Worms. I think they were Squeegee Worms. They changed their name recently. But, you know, this couple that have fallen in love, and he's got, I think he's got either cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy. He's got a very, very debilitating disease, but they are just so in love, and she takes care of him, and it's just so encouraging. It's just so encouraging. And it makes me want to, like, oh, if they can do it, I can do it, kind of a thing. You know, like, really type of encouragement. True. And I think for the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's really not been there, because I didn't feel discouraged, but I was just frustrated with no answers, and the pain, and the criticism about the pain, and people who just, I love that people think I'm faking it. Like, who would want this? Who would want this? Who would want to have to stay in bed all day? And it's funny because the people who have reached out to me and agree, and who would want this? Like, I guess if somebody was battling depression, they would be staying in bed all day, but they really wouldn't want to stay in bed all day, but they would want to stay. I know that sounds dumb, but I think that as you're depressed, you don't want to get out of bed. But I don't know that in the reality of it all is that they want to stay there. I don't think anybody in depression wants to stay in depression. Not that they can help themselves always, but I don't think that's anything anybody looks forward to. I guess if you had in your mind already that I was just like a lazy lay around do nothing, then this is probably just your next phase for me, and that's fine. I don't really care about you, to be honest with you, because you don't know me at all, so whatever. But it's just I think for the first 3 or 4 weeks, I was just very frustrated with the whole situation. I was angry at myself last week. I know I said disappointed, and I was disappointed, but at first I was really angry with myself. I really messed up. And then when I found out they're just going to do my femur, I was like, I was really pissed off at myself because I was like, that was the part that she had finished or practically been finished with. I could have stayed there for another 7 or 8 minutes. Like, what did she need to finish that? But then I realized when she canceled it, it was one test. She had already put it into the computer as one test. So it wasn't something she could have actually stopped anyway, probably. I don't really know how these things work. I don't really know her skill level or her training or whatever. So, excuse me. That one was in the back. That was not coming out of my nose. So I think that was part of the frustration. You know, I was angry at myself for getting hurt, for waiting so long. You know, it's really funny because I was thinking about that, and I was like, I am really mad at myself for waiting so long to get this, to go to the doctor. But I will tell you something. Here's the truth of it. I went to the doctor finally with just a knee pain. It was just a knee pain. She was like, okay, she did this, and she manipulated my foot, and then she recommended me to go to the ortho, and it was not for 4 days till it actually hurt bad. Like something happened in those 4 days that caused it to create the most intense pain I've ever had. Now you guys know that yes, it was difficult. It was frustrating to walk around with the walker. It was like frustrating. It limited my ability. I couldn't climb the stairs really, which I probably could. In hindsight, I probably could have gotten up the stairs. It just would have been very difficult. Probably not Emily's stairs, because Emily's stairs have this really wide wood railing, and it's not really, like, I can't really get a good grip on it to help myself up. But Eden has just like a metal railing, like a regular in-house kind of railing. Well, not in-house. Yeah, metal, but like, yeah, she's got a metal railing. Wrought iron. So like, I, could have really gone and done her stairs, I'm sure. Because, one leg at a time. That's how it is. Good. What do they tell you at therapy? Good girls go to heaven. Bad girls go to hell. When you're going up the stairs, you lead with your good leg. When you're going down the stairs, you lead with your bad. I could have done that, because I did. But anyhow, it limited what I could do and where I could go. And I was in pain, but the walker did help me support myself, and that was fine. I was dealing with it. It wasn't, let me tell you, I was in pain. I hurt my knee, and I was in much more pain than I was on a regular basis, but I wasn't in so much pain that I was worried about it. I just used the cane and the walker because I kept losing, like my leg kept going out from under me. And that hurt more. Trying to support myself with my knee going out. Oh my goodness. Forgive me, excuse me. Let me just rewind this. Sorry about that. I don't know exactly where the stuff started, but I'll just say this again. Supporting my leg with the cane and then the walker was because I kept losing, my knee kept going off, my leg kept going off from under me. And I wanted to have that support in case that happened. So the pain was more than it was on an everyday basis, but really it was the loss of control that really wanted me to use the cane or the walker. Now, that being said, I should have tried harder. I should have tried harder to go to the doctor. I shouldn't have given up on my first 3 tries. Like usually 3 strikes and then I'm out. I try 3 times, and if it doesn't work, that's it. But I should have just kept going. Because when I ended up going after Lisa left, and I did end up trying again, it was like better. Like I fixed it, and it was like this was the right thing I was saying. And the thing with the insurance and talking to somebody after I found an ortho that will take my insurance, then calling and finding out to make an appointment, then I had to go see my primary anyway. My primary took my insurance. Like everything just fell into place then. So I do have a thing. I do have the hope, and I do have the heart that says that God is in control. And when things like this happen, I think I've mentioned this so many times before, but whenever I'm set with a challenge, the thing that's the hardest about my faith is whenever I'm set forth with a challenge, I don't know, am I supposed to push through this? Am I supposed to go around it? Or am I supposed to back down from it? And that's where it comes to. Like when God gives me a challenge, I always feel like I have to push through it first. And if it's just there's too much resistance. I get to the point, like I said, try 3 times. And if it doesn't break through, try to go around it. How can we go around it? If we can't go around it, then just it's time to back down. And backing down isn't always a permanent thing. Sometimes it's just step back, regroup, try again. So that's kind of what was the situation with the doctors. It was, I tried this, just back down, let's regroup. Going around was kind of like, well, if I go to the emergency room, but this isn't an emergency. That was the thing. Like my knee hurt, but it wasn't an emergency. I had a pre-existing condition. I had a pre-existing injury. I felt like I just exacerbated my injury. It was like, is that an emergency? Is that something to go to the ER for? And it was like, it's a $50 visit if you don't get admitted. And will I get admitted? And my ER is not the best. It doesn't have the best reputation, the hospital here, and it doesn't have the best record. So there are good doctors there and there are good nurses there, and I'm not trying to diss that. It's just that I think that as a whole, I think that there's just a lot of holes a lot of flaws. Let's put it that way. And I sound like a broken record when I say that because I feel that way. Is a hospital chain, a conglomerate, is that better than just like a single community kind of hospital? It depends on the community, right? Do they have more resources? I would definitely say yes. That the chains have more resources for sure. So, we get a text message from the honey. Oh, can't read it. I'll read it to you later. But anyway, so it wasn't like an emergency, So it was like, okay, I can just live with the pain. I will take my minimum dose of ibuprofens that I've been taking, like take an extra couple during the day, like the 2 every 6 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours kind of thing. That's what I was doing. I was taking my regular dose at night before bed, and I was taking my regular morning dose, and then I was taking like 2 from like between every 4 6 hours between. Excuse me. And it was fine. It was fine. Like I said, it wasn't so much the pain as it was the loss of like the use of my leg. So I was kind of like mad at myself those first 3 weeks. Like, why didn't you get this taken care of? Why didn't you get this taken care of? But then I realized when I finally got it taken care of, that didn't do it. I mean, that didn't do anything because it obviously prepared me to see the orthopedist. But then in turn, I needed to see the orthopedist for something completely different and much worse. And I was able to do that. And I think pretty quickly, actually, now that I think about it. I think the appointment was just in a couple of days after a phone call. But then with the x-ray and then him saying that the x-ray was okay. No, if I talked to the orthopedist on the 26th and I got to see him on the 4th. So it was like a whole nother week later. So waited a week to see the orthopedist and then get the x-rays. And then the x-rays, like his first impression of the x-rays were different than the x-ray technician's impression of the x-rays. So then we waited like that was the 4th. And then we waited till like the 9th to realize what was really wrong. And from the 4th to the 9th, I was just exercising my brains out. I don't know that I made it worse because then as I started to get the medicine for my hip, the knee started to really feel worse. And then I was like, well, did I make it worse? Who knows? But that's okay. I'm not going to be mad at myself because I did what the doctor had said until the doctor had said, stop. The doctor said it was bone on bone and we'll have to get a hip replacement and we'll worry about the knee next after the hip or whatever. And I was like, okay, and that's fine. And so I can move. And he's like, yeah, moving would probably help. It just will hurt in the beginning. We'll prescribe, what do you got? What are we getting? And all of this stuff. So when I saw I'm so grateful for my friend, Kay, who is a doctor and read the report. And she was the one who really enlightened me to what the report said, which I didn't even read the report. He told me what his impression was. And then I had gotten the results from the report. And sometimes she asks me, and it's just easier to just screenshot and send. Well, when she read it and she was like, what? What? And I was like, what? Are you, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And so I'm so grateful for you. I know amongst everything that you've done for me, that's probably one of the greatest things. I know that you've done so much for me, and I know it sounds silly just reading a report, but I could have kept making it worse. Had she not brought it to my attention and I didn't bring it to the doctor's attention, I could have just been making it worse and worse every day. So I'm so grateful for that. Anyhow, happy tears, all the happy tears today. So then he said, stop exercising. Don't bear any weight on it. All the things that I was told like almost a week before, like go ahead and just live your life or whatever. Excuse me. But that changed everything, because then those 4 days or 5 days of me moving and exercising, and I had was practicing sitting because it hurt a lot to sit, and I was sitting up more, and I was, ready to take my walker and go sit on the couch and sit at the kitchen table and cook, and just living with the pain. I was just going to have to live with the pain type of thing. And getting those words like stop and get this MRI and let's see what's going on changed everything. And then having the MRI and it just getting so angry at myself, and then realizing that it really wasn't just my fault. It was my fault. I miscommunicated. I know it's nothing's gained from blame, but I need to learn for the future. So it was definitely something that when she told me I needed to lay there for 2 hours, I should have said to her, oh, I'm not going to get a break between the two tests, like as a question. And she then would have told me it was one long test. And then I might have been in a different mental state. I'm mad that I didn't remind her about the blue cushion under my leg and behind my back. Just a lot of things. Like I got really angry at myself, and then I got disappointed in myself because, 7 stages of grief of not getting this done. And then I was mad at myself because I didn't take the appointment on Friday, the last Friday, because I was in so much pain. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel on Friday. However, my friend couldn't have taken me on Friday, so it worked out anyway. So it's just a lot of ups and downs with emotions, But anyway, to say all that is to say that I am learned to realize that I am grateful. I have always been grateful. I've been grateful for all of the assistance I've gotten. I've been grateful for all the well wishes. I've been grateful for all of these things that have been blessed upon me, but I have forgotten to be grateful for my position. And that's really what I was going to say. So my position is, yes, I'm in a lot of pain. And yes, I have things that I want to do that I cannot do. And excuse me, I am in a place where I could just go get depressed if I wanted to. Because honestly, who wants to be like this? But then I realized that I'm not. I'm grateful that it could be so much worse. I've mentioned it before, but not really ever sunk into my heart. It could be so much worse. I could be in more pain. I could have the medication could not help me. I could be in worse medication that makes me knocked out all the time. And at least I have a life that I get to live between doses, if that makes any sense. I am grateful for my husband and my mother-in-law, and for my friends, and for Poppy, and for Lisa, and for Carla, and for Sharon, and Jane, and Alicia. And I'm grateful for everything that I have in my life that helps me get through this and reminds me that I'm not alone. That's first. I'm not in this by myself, which is second. But most importantly, that I am not the worse off. I am grateful that I'm in the position that I'm in. I mentioned something yesterday that in yesterday's vlog, when you saw it, yesterday's post, that it could be so much worse because I could live in a really rural area that really has like nowhere near a hospital kind of situation, or nowhere near a clinic, or I'd have to travel in the car for 35 minutes just to get to the clinic. So I'm so grateful that I'm in the position that I am in now. That being said, I'm much more grateful today to be in the position that I'm in right now. Yes, it's frustrating that this system here doesn't go as fast as the system did in New York, but it goes way faster than a lot of other systems. I was frustrated that I failed at my test, but you know what? Could be failing at a lot of other tests. I'm grateful that I got the test to begin with. I'm grateful that I have another opportunity to do this test. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful for my morning coffee. I'm grateful for my morning waters. I'm grateful to be able to have, afford to have healthy, low carb, keto friendly snacks that are at my reach, that I need to keep my body functioning at its minimal amount of function, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just grateful. I'm just so grateful. And that's really what the message is that I wanted to post today. And was resting last night what made me grateful? Maybe was going through, like, it's always darkest before the dawn. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm not going to have worse pain days, because I probably will. I only have to step the wrong way going onto the commode, or like step the wrong way standing up to change or whatever, to make my situation worse. I could forget that I'm not supposed to bear weight on my leg, because when it doesn't throb, when it doesn't, like, you want to throw punch somebody, you can forget that it's actually like really injured. So, I mean, there is that. I hope I do get some relief. I don't know if it is broken and I need a cast, or if it's a brace that I need, or if I need surgery. I don't know what's to come, but whatever it is, I'm going to be grateful for it, because I have to tell you, over the last, barring yesterday, because yesterday I wasn't thinking about anything, but over the last 7 or 8 days, I've just been thinking about all the things that I'm going to be able to do when I feel better. I'm so looking forward to the things that I can do. And I'm like, I'll have a new hip and maybe a new knee. I'll be able to go hiking. Like, will I be able to go hiking? Will I be able to go for long walks again? Long walks. So it's just some things, it's just weird to think of, plus the weight loss. So I'm thinking, like, if I lose all this weight, take this surgery, then what I'll be able to do? I'll be able to go dancing again. Now, the weight never stopped me from dancing, but obviously carrying extra weight on your joints could be problematic from time to time. So, but I'm thinking, like, if I get a new knee, then I can go dancing again, because I couldn't dance for 10 years because I wasn't allowed to dance on my old knee. Just little things are exciting me, So, but last week I've been really looking forward to being the bionic woman. That's what I've been looking forward to. I'm just kidding. Anyhow, I am also very grateful for all of you. And I know I mentioned this before. Even the people who don't have nice things to say, I'm grateful for them in a way, because they do offer me some perspective. That doesn't mean for me to encourage you to get on there and start saying not nice things. But when I think you can learn from anything, and when people are passionate about their position, you can learn from it. Like, I don't know, saying, what am I thinking? Saying, saying things that like aren't true, or grasping at straws, or taking things out of context, or whatever they're doing, just gives me like encouragement to communicate better. It gives me hope to be a better person. Like, I just want to be a better person because I want to be happy and not feel like them in my life. I want to be happy, and whatever it is that's going to make me happy. Yeah. So I love you guys, and thank you. And as always, you guys take care. God bless, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to find something to be grateful for. Bye. Bye. Hello? Well, that was weird. Um, what is that? Hello? That's so weird. Okay. It's happening again.